Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the WCW Saturday Night Review Series for the 10th of October, 1993. We are quickly approaching the end of 1993 in terms of that. We open with Rip Rogers versus Jungle Jim Steele. Not particularly a great match. Rogers, though, amazingly takes risks that a normal enhancement talent wouldn't take, including leaping off the top rope with a double axe handle a la Randy Savage to the outside. It's just kind of amazing to me that he's taking those type of risks. And I keep calling him Jungle Jim Steele, but in reality, it's Charlie Norris. Called him that a bunch of times because Norris is such a anomaly. He's only around for maybe 6 months or something like that. Less than a year easily, and he rolls him back in. Basic stuff, jump kick, pump kick style maneuver. Sting is hyping the upcoming Halloween Havoc show, and that's their Harlem Heat, an enhancement match. Up next, they still have not found their groove in WCW yet, but that's something they do throughout 1994, including, I believe, being in major championship matches and such. In 94, dropkick by the enhancement talent tag off, and the Harlem Heat continues to move on as major talents here. Hard shots by the enhancement talent, driving one half of Harlem Heat back into the corner. Basic stuff. Clotheslines along the way, don't get all they want on that, but double team by Harlem Heat, getting the victory, including the non-legal person coming in with a leg drop from second rope on the inside, getting a victory there. Once again, the contract offered by Colonel Robert Parker to Steve Austin in a pretty aggressive way. Austin and Pillman have not broken up yet, but it's leading that way because Austin's focusing on singles career. Sid Vicious managing to attack his opponent pretty aggressively here. Hard punches, hard kicks, basic stuff, but certainly Vicious looks to be in the best shape, both mentally and physically, of his career at the time, setting him up for the run with Vader that never comes because of the altercation overseas between him and Arn Anderson that leads to both guys being stabbed multiple times with scissors. If you've never heard that story, heck of a story, and not a good one if you are either one of those gentlemen, to say the very least. Sid manages to continue to go right after adversary quite a bit there. Eventually hits the powerbomb. Sid basically says he wants the championship, wants to be one of the best in the world going forward. Also, I believe has a match with Sting upcoming in the not too distant future. Uncle Fred and Sting, Uncle Fred and Dustin Rhodes versus Tex Slashinger and Shanghai Pierce. Uncle Fred still known as the Shockmaster, but they refer to him as Uncle Fred regardless. Arm bars, arm locks, and the like by Shanghai and Tex. Obviously, that's majority of Rhodes taking the heat. And obviously, the match is pretty basic. Eventually, Rhodes and Pierce get the victory there. They do a WCW Amateur Challenge, bunch of interviews along the way, goofiness all the way around, but the idea is to get people impressed in the idea of having an opportunity to be on television. I think it was more a letter writing campaign to get names for some sort of mailing list or something, maybe to even entice people to join the power plant. Anyway, Bobby Eaton back with an enhancement match here. Haven't seen him in a while, and he hits some hard clotheslines, punches, kicks, basic stuff. Eaton really not having much going on with his career at this particular juncture. Manages to tie up, hits the knee drop from the top, and Bobby Eaton goes back to his winning ways here. We then see Ric Flair with Fifi on the Mend, and he faces off against Yoshi Kwan. Kind of a weird match there. Styles clash that the match never really gets off the ground. Kwan sends Flair to the outside early. Continues to punch, kick, chop, almost the martial arts style stuff with Flair. Harley Race happy because Flair, obviously an adversary of his for more than 10 years. Flair does a good bit of selling, more so than average in the particular match here. Kwan hits some leg drops and takes Flair out to the best of his ability. Flair with a backslide takes Kwan down 1, 2, 3, and gets a victory on the outside there. Continuation of the interview with Rick Rude in a business suit where he talks about being a world champion and willing to take on anybody. He wants to prove his value in the long run. Arn Anderson out here against Lord Steven Regal, who's picked up the television championship. Anderson and Regal, a phenomenal match, worth going out of your way to see. In terms of psychology and just moving things forward, Regal stalls for as long as he can. Anderson, former multi-time television champion, is able to bring importance back to the belt. Full Nelson by Regal. Regal manages to hold things back and kind of go in a backward direction. Takedown by Anderson, and they actually fight over a guard-style maneuver. Nip up by Regal. Regal comes out and hold onto the arm, and they go all the way around. Regal tries to get submissions on the arm and shoulder of Anderson along the way. Neck cravat and a quick attempted submission. Doesn't get all he wants on that. Regal manages to eventually get the time limit draw style situation there. Spine buster by Anderson, and Anderson is certainly claiming to be victorious, but I believe the time limit has run out at that point, and definitely a worthwhile match. One toward the end of the year. Worth going out of your way to see. Speaking of worth going out of your way to see, this 10-minute match between Vader and Ricky Steamboat, also the same. Steamboat has more fire than average as a babyface. Gets backed up by Vader. Vader beats him down with hard shots in the corner. Sends Steamboat out to the floor. Steamboat does the majority of selling for the match. Obviously, as a former world champion, the idea that he could beat Vader is there. Splash to the corner, but Steamboat brings the feet up, knees up, and Vader is in pain. Vader's selling here is phenomenal. Vader finally gets knocked off his feet by Steamboat, probably with about 4 minutes left in the program. Vader is made to look vulnerable. There is a brawl on the outside of the ring between the two with about 2 minutes left in the program. Steamboat tries to come back into the ring. Harley Race temporarily tries to interfere. The crossbody by Steamboat gets him a near fall, quickest near fall, or closest near fall, but Vader powers out, sends Steamboat out to the floor. Steamboat's facials are phenomenal at the time, from the sense of, feeling like he can't ever get fully ahead. Steamboat manages to almost win, but Yoshi Kwan runs out, and Steamboat and Kwan and Race help Vader to attack Steamboat and try and finish him off. Cactus Jack runs out to save Steamboat with a shovel. Steamboat with a shovel tries to shovel Vader away and get a victory for himself morally there. And we move towards closer to the end of October 1993 with the next edition. Stay with us over 1,200 audios, old school, new school, and all points in between. Subscribe, like, comment below if you're interested in another series. Let us know what that is. And until next time, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment, everybody.